I think that is the best song we've had in between games ever on the OCS.
What, to just get cut off right before we start again?
Yeah, that song. But it was like the Amumu song. And I'm pretty sure it was the guy, I don't know his name. I wish I knew his name. I don't know if it was the original or the guy that recreated the Amumu because it's like the Sad Mummy theme song.
Yeah.
And look, it's not a hype song, but it's better than all the garbage screamo that we listen to all the time. So, look, I'm just going to say, and I've been told that was actually the original, so it wasn't the OPL remake.
Yeah,
but that's pretty cool. Anyway, this game, pretty cool as well. Diacubs versus Gravitas Academy, two of the top dogs this season. Diacubs had undefeated first place until they lost to Mammoth in Week 7, so big expectations, I think, going into the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely one of the favorites to get that bye straight into the semifinals, but this is going to be a real test for them because Gravitas, they're a strong team. Granted, they were one of the teams I felt looked stronger at the start of the season. I believe they had the 4-0 start before they started dropping games. And since then, it's been a little bit shakier.
Yeah.
But they're still one of the top contending teams. Like, they still win the games they're supposed to, usually quite easily. So I feel as if they make a good showing against the Dire Cubs right here, and especially with Mprox losing, that would bring us into like a 4-way tie for second place going into the last week, and that would be absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, like if you look at Gravitas and you look at their schedule, like they've never lost to like one of the weak teams. Their worst loss is to the Bombers, and it's like, yeah, they sit on like a pretty shocky, like rocky, I should say, like record right now. But it's like out of all like the top dogs, like Bombers sit there depending on which roster. Because out of everyone, like they have players they can play that I think immediately it's just like we could get this Bombers or we could get that Bombers, and it, like who knows who's gonna rock up on the day. But like they always beat people below them. But as you said, yeah, like start of the season much better. As soon as they got to that Chiefs game, I think it was, and then they had to sub out Why Not. I'm pretty sure he's still like rocking like a dislocated shoulder injury. I was literally watching a clip last night of him playing like Street Fighter, landing a combo and being like, yeah, God, like he cheers that he gets something, and then like his shoulder hurts. But of course, for the rest of the lineup for Gravitas, like Rival is going to be rejoining. We saw him play a couple of weeks ago, I think maybe 4 or 5 at this point, but it isn't going to be Guappy. It is going to be the Riven main up at the top side. He's also super jacked. He'll beat you up.
Oh.
Don't talk shit or I'll beat you up.
I don't want to pick fights with any of the Gravitas Academy team. They're all like from New Zealand, so I'm just going to assume they're all, you know, big rugby. A lot of them are from New Zealand, so which means big rugby fans, which means they will beat me up. So I do not want to.
Sure.
I don't. It's not as if Australia likes rugby as well. I mean,
yeah. I mean, we have 2 codes of rugby, and both of them are crap. But like, that's fine. Anyway, like on the other side of the coin, though, like Diacubs is going to be Draco coming back. Has been Kweku for a very long time. I was literally reading out Twitter DMs a couple of weeks ago on the broadcast where he was laughing at me in Chinese. Apparently, that's
I was there.
Yeah, and so he's returning to the Diacubs roster. We haven't seen him for a very long time. I'm unsure what he was doing in China. Maybe he's been on some like Super Saiyan tier like boot camp. He's coming back ready to like smash on some OCS.
Well, he heard Rivals there, so he's been
Yeah, he picked a good opponent. He came up. Yeah, okay.
So I think it's going to be a showdown in the top lane. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Please no Ornn, Scion, Tank Fest. I want carries in the top lane.
It started that way for Diacubs. It was just like, let's play Sona Taric Ornn and like just play quote unquote like meta just garbage. But it really did progress into like the Aurelias, the Renekton's. So I am kind of interested to see what Draku brings back to this lineup. Of course, it is still going to be Seaman in the mid lane. They do have that very flexible roster, but Get Back has been playing the last couple of weeks in OPL. So Seaman rests here on the OCS team. Mordekaiser still repping that 100% ban rate here. Interesting that we actually see it on
the blue side.
So that just means to me, Gravitas straight up can't play it. Because like you would expect like OP champions more often they'll get banned away by red side, but they're going to cop it.
But do you ban it first then, or do you wait for that third ban? Because you give the Dire Cubs a chance to ban it away.
Yes, it's kind of like 2 schools of thought. I said no immediately because I'm like, no, like you should hold on to that one. But it, like, you're sacrificing, like, because at the end of the day, if you don't play it, you have to ban it, and you know that. And it's just about whether they know that. If they don't, then you can leave it till last, and then you can maybe draw a free ban from them. But if you lose that race, you get to your last ban, and depending on what your opponents have already done, if you're cementing yourself into third ban Mordekaiser, you have no wiggle room to react. So if they start banning whack things, and you're like, okay, we need to remove this other thing that is all of a sudden jumped in priority, but the Mordekaiser is still on the table, it can be problematic.
Lux, first time she gets through and immediately gets locked in
Yeah.
by rival for Gravitas Academy, but an instant lock in return, that Aurelia.
Yeah, so, that makes Aurelia even better. Rudy Soft. Not going to have fun this game playing the Sejuani, but certainly Dragku or Siaman, whoever picks that one up, is going to be the case. And Silas is actually locked in immediately as the response, so taking a look at the Aurelia at the Sejuani, has a good matchup in the jungle specifically, but also that's 2 high-value ultimates already selected, and Silas really is that kind of champion where if his numbers are so good, he's pickable without looking at the ultimates. He feels very oppressive, but this is one of those cases where, like, is good jungler in his own right, but also has hella value from that R button.
And I like the Aatrox pickup as well to go with that Silas, so I expect a lot of kill pressure could be thrown to wherever that Aatrox is, be it mid lane or top lane right now. I hope it's mid lane, and I hope we get to see that Aatrox Aurelia showdown in some facet, because that's going to be a highly explosive lane, especially with 2 glacial prisons coming out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like, that
just
could
like
be
from either
Yeah,
lane.
just
It's just
boom.
like flying in from the woodwork. That's actually kind of funny. I didn't think about that. This is a Caitlyn ban for the Dire Cubs. I'm expecting, with Sivir already gone, Ezreal 100% gets boomed, as does the Lucian. In my eyes, probably the 3 best pairings with the Yuumi. And she's really that kind of champion that you can pick a Lux, and it's like, what do I want to play with this? The world's my oyster. Whereas Yuumi is kind of like, I picked Yuumi, I have to play like this, this, and this, and you really don't have too many options. It does fall off a cliff at a certain point. So Gravitas certainly going to prioritize their eyes down on Andrew, one of the best performing members of the Dire Cubs over the course of this season.
Yep, I'm very curious which AD carry he will be going for. That said, one more ban, still available for both sides. Lucian's going to be taken away by the Dire Cubs side.
Yeah, interesting. So Gravitas kind of have some wiggle room here. They want to remove something extraneous. Caitlyn or the Lucian just banning away the bullies, so this could be the setup for a very negative lane. Maybe you go back to like the Jinx you were talking about earlier in the day, like the Kai'Sa springs to mind. Like she's a weak laner, especially when you pair it with the Yuumi.
Yeah.
And you kind of expect to just get bullied, scale up, and be a monster late game. And that is a viable strategy when you pair it with an Aurelia and a Sejuani. Like, you very obviously, as the Dire Cubs, want to be playing towards top side of the map already, given what they've drafted. So I guess at the end of the day, they will pick like a negative lane, but they do have a very solid game plan, irrelevant of what he locks in.
Ashe is going to be the hover, and most likely I feel the lock in for Gravitas perhaps. I mean, if you're going to be going up against a negative lane, as you're saying, you can afford to take one of those less mobile AD carries who can also scale, but also provides a lot of that chain crowd control.
I'm glad you say mobile, right? Because she's actually super strong in lane. Like, she doesn't lack oomph.
No.
Like, Ashe just sits there with a volley spam. We are seeing a bunch of, like, CDR, Essence Reaver, Triforce, like, Comet.
Arcane Comet.
Yeah,
I love Arcane
Ashe,
Comet Ashe.
which is super annoying to play with, and that has been locked in.
And
so that's a Veigar.
That is a Veigar.
Okay, sure.
All right, and it's a Heimerdinger hover.
Yeah. Unlikely, I expect.
I don't know. This would be, if this gets locked in, that's their second Heimerdinger in 3 games, and we're not going to see it. Okay.
Heimerdinger Sejuani would be a choice. It's a choice. You can make it, technically, but
you call it a choice. I call it a lifestyle.
I feel like, what was it? It was Chiefs, like 2015 split 1. I think they went to wildcards and they played like Vlad Nunu. That was their mid-jungle 2v2. Vlad Nunu. Sejuani Heimerdinger sounds like the same sort of thing. But like, yeah, you have CC, but it's...
I think I like Sejuani Heimerdinger a bit more than I like Vlad Nunu.
Yeah, I agree. It's a greater extreme, but still kind of hot trash in any case. Veigar Aurelia is going to be the matchup, of course. So Urgot gets locked in. Dragku, big fan of that one, and this was the matchup for like months.
Yes.
Right? Like Aatrox versus
years.
Urgot.
It's been, I think we're hitting years now.
Well, I mean,
Aatrox
we haven't seen it for like a good probably 3 months, I think. But before Urgot got nerfed into the ground, it was just kind of like, okay, like they weren't OP enough and like game-breaking enough to warrant banning away. There was like more prized things in the meta, but every top laner was just handshaking Aatrox Urgot every single game.
I think what's also kind of interesting too, though, like when we're looking at these team comps, is the importance of this game, and thus I feel each of these teams should be feeling very comfortable with what they have as a result. Like, I don't think we're at the stage where teams will be hiding or potentially holding back, just because this is another one of those matchups with top 2 automatic semifinals on the line. So I definitely feel like this Vagar pick, in particular, this is a pocket pick that we may see more of should Gravitas Academy have success with it.
I mean, like, he's not trolling, right?
No.
Like, you don't get to the end of the season and be like, yeah, okay, like, we made it. It's all right. Like, let's start picking some whack stuff. It's definitely an intentional choice here. Takes it into the Aurelia, the Sejuani, which is rough, I guess, but maybe I expect him to go towards something like the Spellbook. You get that extra summoner and you just look to scale up as much as possible. You do have the Baby Rage to just throw down your E button, and everybody is miserable inside, so can play very defensive and just scale up as much as possible, which does kind of like hint at their comp, right? Like, they have the Ashe, they have the Lux, will get better with time, like Sylas and Aatrox. Like, they don't have the biggest front line, but certainly nothing to slouch at as you progress through this one.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm pretty sure I already know that the answer is you're going to hate it.
Okay.
But we're going to go for it anyways.
Okay.
Spellbook, Smite, mid laners to rush the, I forget the name of it, but the jungle item.
Skirmishers.
No, not skirmishers, but with the blue enchantment.
Chilling Smite.
No, not Chilling Smite.
Wait, oh, you mean the Ludens one?
Yeah,
the
the Runic Echoes. That's it.
Oh,
Runic
okay,
Echoes. Yeah, Runic Echoes mid laners.
Like,
Because
what do I
it's
think of
cheaper.
them?
Because it's a cheaper build than Luden's Echo. But you have to be running Smite for like the first beginning of the game, and you can't build it unless it's all in one go, because otherwise you slow down your CS
just kind of
generation.
useless. Yeah, we did see like a long time where it wasn't like Runic. We saw it with Warrior, and like Aatrox was just like Smite Aatrox mid. But I don't remember exactly what the change was, but something to do with like lane XP and jungle XP. Like Smite mids just kind of got boomed. Like Riot looked at it and was like, funnel, we don't like that. Smite mid Aatrox, like we don't like that, and it kind of just got tapped down out of relevancy. Why, have you been seeing it?
I have been seeing it.
Okay.
Low elo fun times.
You always say these things, and I'm like, okay, like, you've been seeing it, and you're like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, where'd you see it? And then the response is, I into gold tournament, and I'm like, all right.
This is where this is where innovation is made.
Yeah.
And then when they break through, then you see it in top. Because
I don't disagree with that statement. Sona Taric, that was a boosting strat. Everybody thought it was hot garbage until a pro player was like, hey, let's actually try this out. Like, this may be good. And then all of a sudden, it's broken. Funnel, boosting strat, same thing.
Arcane Comet Ashe.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that is what I used to run in my low elo games when I got Ashe.
Yeah.
And now, look where it is now.
I used to run TP Ashe, and it wasn't because I was answering at Ezreal with TP. It was because I liked to arrow from base and then TP to the lane. And then just get hella style points when that connects like 1 every 6 games.
I did that with the Ashe as well.
Yep.
It's good fun.
It's like when you start playing League of Legends, that's like it's like the thing that everybody figures out on their own and they think they're a genius, but everybody else has done it before them.
Exactly, yeah. You shoot the arrow from your own fountain, start the teleport behind them, and then you think I'm coming from one direction, but surprise! Both ways!
Yeah. And it's like a 3-second stun.
Yeah.
Stuff
and
happens.
why not? That is not where Why Not wants to be. A first blood already for Ubisoft.
Yeah, that was disastrous. Smited the blue buff and didn't level the W quickly enough, so ease away, Q's forwards, and then unable to hit the Sejuani with a chomp, unable to live, so surprise attack from a Sejuani is actually going to get a solo kill first blood here. Very nicely played from Ubisoft, very nicely read, and finds out the opponent.
Seaman as well is going to flash into the stun circle and secure the kill.
That was just a straight up hard commit with Hot Chili on like half HP. Often as a caster, you say damage was calculated as like a troll because somebody lived on 2 HP, but that was just straight up baller moves. He knows exactly what's going on. Commits forward, and this could be round number 2.
No, stun's in place, and here comes Ubisoft as well. Good return stun, actually connects with both, but it might not matter. Why Not is going to attempt to save. There is an availability for the permafrost stun, but it's not going to connect. However, Why Not's in way too deep. Is able to get 1 kill, flashes out, might be able to escape. Hot Chili in trouble. Here comes the MLG though. Draku is here as well. Big shotgun knees doing a lot of damage, but another Event Horizon will actually turn things back around, and Draku now no longer is feeling like the savior. He's feeling like he's in a lot of trouble. Double kill for the Sylas.
And look, I hate to just call stuff bad, but that took an assist me ping from like, it was either Dragu or it was Seaman. Like a literal assist me ping for Andrew and Corporal to respond. They were looking for the 1v, or like the 2v1 in bottom lane, looking for a kill, but Dragu just walked from top to bottom lane, looked for a skirmish, was fighting all the while his bottom lane was just AFK. That is super punishing for Dire Cubs. That could have been another back-to-back couple of kills, then all of a sudden Wynot is sitting 0 and 2 on the Silas, but completely swings that one around. The members do respond. Gravitas on the board here, and on the ball, I will say, people paying attention turn this one around. A disastrous situation is now turning in their favor.
I'm surprised Draku, though, despite having burned teleport, I guess maybe that is true, but with that giant roam down, still has a CS lead over Rivals.
Yeah. I wasn't paying the most attention to the top wave whilst the skirmish was happening, but obviously struggled to push that one in. Maybe it was already shoved underneath his turret. I kind of expect so, given the matchup, also given the fact that Draku left. He's not just going to leave like a double stacked wave underneath his turret, so obviously took the Aatrox a while to force the wave to bounce and look to get back on Draku's side, and then he of course held on to the TP, so didn't TP back to a freeze or anything like that.
That's actually interesting. So it could mean we could be seeing a rival play at some stage in the next couple of minutes while the TP advantage is in favor of Gravitas. That said, though, both junglers seem to be putting a lot of emphasis and focus around this mid lane, at least for the start of this game. I think Seaman getting that solo kill definitely accelerated that presence. I'm curious who makes the next move, because at the moment it looks like Ubisoft is looking for it.
Yeah, because it's also, like, you talk about the top CS, mid is also the telling story. Hotchelly died, TP back to lane, and then didn't die again. Crucially, he lived, turned that one around. The bottom lane came to the rescue, but the wave pushing in, he farmed absolutely nothing. And is now quite literally doubled in CS at 6 minutes into this game.
And it's on a Veigar as well, who wants that CS, wants that stacks, wants that late game one shot. But if he's unable to sort of pressure anything, he's going to be twice as behind as potentially your normal mid laner. So very good start for the Dire Cubs despite that little slip up. Game definitely seems to be going in their favor, but Rival has a chance to get her ass down. Not really going to get much.
Draco just continually pressuring out the top side, doing very well right now. Why not? Lying in wait. No flashes available down here. Yuumi has nothing. Andrew has
MLG
nothing.
Connects with the Luminous binding, so that damage will be enough to secure a kill.
Andrew just straight up dies. Has TP to get himself back into this one. Also has gone for the tier build, so have kind of those options of the standard Kai'Sa of old, but now the Muramana, so he's going to go that route. Extra mana to boot. Dragon being started up here. Aurelia can make it down for the fight if he chooses, and because of the TP, Dire Cubs do have all 4 members.
Glacial Prison is available as well for Ubisoft, but that's great zoning coming out of Hot Chili, so the Dragon will be secured. Glacial Prison does connect onto Retribution, though, and Retribution should be going down. Teleport coming through. This Ashe is still alive. Finally gets brought down. Hot Chili, meanwhile, has dived onto Seaman, has to flash over the wall to safety, but that burn from the Ignite helps bring him down. Seaman gets onto MLG as well. Rival's there to try and possibly peel him off, but it's not enough. Rival should be falling, and that's a huge win for the Dire Cubs.
4 versus 5, and they win the fight anyway. Why not slinks back to his jungle as Drag, who is just left alone, pushing that top turret. Yes, they lose the Infernal, but the fight swings massively in the favor of the Cubs. Seaman is just a monster on this Aurelia. Already twice this game. Solo kill in mid lane, forcing every good play for the Dire Cubs right now, and absolutely popping off.
Yeah, Seaman wants this top 2 finish, you can tell, and he is playing with a purpose in this one. Hot Chili not able to have the answer, at least just yet. Also, I want to give credit for Ubisoft as well, with that snipe on the Glacial Prison, hitting Retribution, taking the Ashe out of the fight before it even started. That was fantastic search play.
Because you could see the call from Gravitas, right? Like, why not is like, I have a dash, I can get over the back of the pit, so as long as we secure this one and skedaddle, everything will be fine. But Glacial Prism connects onto Retribution, slows the rest of the members just enough for Seaman to get like a 3-man ulti on the Aurelia. Was kind of the catalyst for everything that happened right there, and Sejuani with bruises running over the top is a very easy chasing time, so able to clean up multiple kills.
Yeah, it's definitely a good turnaround for the Dire Cubs. I was starting to get worried for them. They were starting to slip up a bit, but able to bring it back into their favor. I'm still waiting for that cold to finish from Draku. I'm curious to see, you know, when that will come down and where
he's going to be a monster.
He is going to be big
when that finishes, like, he's going to be monstrously ahead in CS, monstrously ahead in gold. Almost already completed his Black Cleaver right now. It's probably about 1,000 gold away from that one if he does have it in the bank. But Rival's also gone for like the double Doran's Blade to get that laning strength. We're struggling early and goes for the laning buy. They're not components. They're straight up just instant value. So probably put himself another 475 gold behind his opponent there. Less the cull.
Yeah,
Definitely not an easy time in the top lane.
no, this has been a rough one for Rival thus far. Possibly would have had some help from Why Not, but instead Gravitas don't pull the trigger on that. Probably the smarter move.
Yeah, I think just looking to get the wave in, right? Like, they don't want to fight Dragku because they just don't have any damage right now, but wanting to shepherd in the Aatrox so his wave isn't stuck.
Hot Chili. It seems like every time we come to this mid lane, oh, he's having fun still. That's good to know. It does feel every time we come to this mid lane, though, Seaman is just shoving in Hot Chili again and again.
I mean, that's how you expect the matchup to go, and then the Veigar is picked because Event Horizon, because the AoE stun in his E can, like, deny the last dive. Like, the threat will always be there, but if you're Hot Chili, if you play 100% and you play perfectly, like you land the stun every time on the delay, you should be able to deny those engages, but you saw very early on, Siemens just like level 3, level 4. Yeah. I'm going to flash into the cage because I know my damage limits. The extra auto, the W comes through. But this is kind of how I expect things to keep progressing. It makes the game hard to play for Gravitas because this happens right here. Like, Why Not is already in his bot side jungle, but can't even go for his Raptors because Seaman will always be first. Udisoft kind of has...
Why Not's not in a good place right now. He's going to try and jump away. Glacial Prison still available. It's actually used first by Why Not, but it's not going to make the save. Easy kill secure.
Yep, CC chain galore there. Sedge passive into the Aurelia stun, into the Glacial Prism, just locks him down. And as I'm talking about it, right? Like, he's in his own jungle. All he wants is a couple of camps, but there's a boar causing a ruckus. This is a solo kill.
Good kill secured by Draku right there.
Yep, 30 CS lead, TP gone from Rival, and this is going to be another bunch of plates taken to boot. This is very rough territory for the top side of the map. Gravitas, no priority mid, no priority top, and their jungler dies around bot lane. Every facet of the map right now from Diacubs is ahead.
And this isn't looking good for Gravitas, but here we go. Lost Chapter trying to turn it right back out into Retribution. He's quite low, and with the Ignite, will go down. MLG not able to make the save.
Yeah, they start off with the arrow, the binding. MLG hits him with a laser, but unfortunately is not quite enough. Why Not commits?
Yeah, flash coming down. Andrew is already very low, has to flash defensively. Here comes the return gank from Udisoft from up above. Will be looking for the way in. Why Not can't be running up river right now. This could be dangerous. The poke doesn't land. MLG steps up. Will Udisoft commit to this back?
Does
nope.
He face check the river?
He's waiting. Why Not in a dangerous position? Here he comes. He steals the ultimate from the Kaisa, tries to jump into it. Andrew's actually quite low. Why Not, though, is stunned and will go down. Andrew rooted in place. The kill is returned by MLG, who will give his life for it.
Yeah, but they have to commit. Both members flash forwards for the kill. They get one. Andrew falls, but the answer is always going to be there for the Diacubs. Gold lead exploding. First two games of the day, we had fairly slow laning phases. This one, completely the opposite right now. Cage comes through. Hochelli wants this.
Yeah,
Rival is around.
Rival is here to help, but Seaman should be able to back away. Doesn't even need to land the stun. He will be safe. Flash still available. As this is going on, an Infernal Drake secured by the Dire Wolves. Or will it be actually? Hot Chili stepping forward. Not able to make the steal in time. Smite easily there for Udisoft, so Hot Chili will have to back away. Be careful though, Draku is around. Udisoft trying to buy time, possibly bait Hot Chili in. Won't take it this time.
Yeah, sitting on the pink ward, trying to deny that one as much as possible. Draku just kind of wandering down. Got a lot of legs, needs to make them work every now and again. Still 12 CS off the Cull Pop. Still waiting for that one, but goes back, finishes his Cleaver and his Merc Treads there. Out of all the boots in League of Legends, the Merc Treads are definitely like the Nike Airs, they're the Air Jordans, they're like top tier.
They're good on everyone.
Yeah, they're also just very expensive.
They are.
Maybe they're the easies.
Oh, Draku stuck in the cage, but Seaman is there to provide some help, sort of chase Why Not away.
Arrow from Narnia.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow not going to find a land whatsoever. Still a lot of posturing right now. It does appear as if Gravitas are like looking to get any sort of pick. Meanwhile, down below a solo kill.
Yeah, flash burnt as well from Retribution, so Corporal must have landed the slow. Ultis came out from both the Kaisa and the Yuumi. This is the engage still on top side though.
Yeah, I mean, Glacial Prison still available. Draku kind of forced to go in there by Udisoft. In the end though, no follow-up, which means no commit.
And you can see Gravitas are just trying to defend their top side, and every time that happens, the bottom lane gets punished. First time I called them out, Corporal and Andrew didn't help the boys, and unfortunately, probably cost them a couple of kills.
Oh,
This
MLG,
is,
you do not want to be here right now. Tower does go down. Help is arriving in the form of Why Not, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Rival actually teleported in behind, so Andrew's in a lot of trouble. Will get grinded by the Silas, as Corporal will be the next to go down.
yeah, it ends up just being a bait. MLG walks up to the turret, baits them in. The TP comes through, and Rival gets on the board right now. TP flank and are able to shut them down. Seaman.
Seaman's actually going all the way. Ignite has been dropped, and he has the damage. Will walk away clean.
Oh, another solo kill for the Aurelia. This is just Dire Cubs walking away with everything. 14 minutes, 7,000 gold lead. They're trading the Infernal Dragons. First one went to Gravitas, but they get the second one on the board, and as that happened, Ubisoft just soloed out a Rift Herald. So yes, they got shut down to the bottom side. Yes, Andrew and Corporal, they get caught fishing way too far forward, but...
Uh-oh, Rival. Why was he still there? This is not a good time for Rival at all. 3 members of the Dire Cubs will bring him down.
Yeah, that sucks. He was looking for a reset, you know? Wants to go back, spend his gold. He just got a kill. Unfortunately, it's very nicely cleaned up. Maybe he didn't expect the TP there from Andrew. Gets them back on the map very early. Brings his Yuumi friend with him, and very easy cleanup. Why not looking to defend the last remaining Outer in a lot of trouble here?
Yeah.
Ubisoft can just fling the ulti if he wants to.
He can. I'm waiting for the Special Prison. It does connect. The Lost Chapter follow-up is there as well. Dracu steals the kill for himself, and they will walk away semi-clean. Seaman was rooted underneath tower, takes one shot, but not enough to warrant a re-engage.
Yeah, very nicely played. The flank is there. The timing is on point, and Rift Herald popped as well. Pocelli doing his best to deal with a wave. Veigar very good at actually dealing with things from a distance. Caged by some time, but that's going to be a single charge. Can they find more? That's a slow.
That is a slow, but the
Does it
cage
stop
will
Shelly?
stop things. No, it does not. I don't know if it hit Shelly. It looked like that was timed perfectly to just right as it went away. Dracu,
Yeah.
though, in a hard position right now, won't get chased down.
Yeah, has finished his cull now, so goes back and finds a cauliflower hammer. So working on his second item there, but is monstrously far ahead. This is approaching Flame Horizon territory fairly soon. There's no way Rival is ever going to be able to contest him in a side lane. Is half an item to 1.5 of Dracu. A full completed one behind right now, so definitely rough territory. We are approaching that 10k gold lead mark as well, so for a very hype matchup, in all honesty, Dire Cubs coming out and they're just putting Gravitas to the grinders right now. Both of these teams sitting very high on the ladder, but this game is just... it's a one-sided affair.
And if you're Gravitas fans, I feel as if this could be potentially very concerning, only because there is, as much as there was a world for QUT to make playoffs, there's also a world where Gravitas actually loses out and could miss playoffs with how close this middle has been. So this is a pretty must-win situation for them. I mean, but yeah, you're against the Dire Cubs. They're very, very tough. I believe Gravitas might even have Mammoth next week as well, so like that's another tough one.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so Gravitas, this is pretty, not for lack of bad pun or whatever, but this is pretty dire for Gravitas.
Certainly is. Right, well, they're missing like their top laner, which is the big point of weakness, right? Like Rival coming in, like serviceable replacement, but in terms of like how this team operates, it's not that like Rival comes in and you're looking like one-to-one, like wow, this guy is just worse than Guapi. It's the fact that like Guapi is constantly the source.
Dracu's taking no damage.
Yeah.
He is just taking a lot of abuse right now. He's trying to get to that blasting cone, and
he
he will
walks
get
away.
there and walk away.
Binding.
Luminous Binding does hit, but there's really no follow-up available. The ultimate is as well. That's just...
that's how you know you've made it with a stop laner. You just tank it up 3 people. Walks over the wall, is like, all right, I don't like this anymore. See you later. But as I was like saying, right, it's like the way that Gravitas play with Guapi. It's not the fact that like you're comparing the two individuals. It's the fact that they look like a completely different team.
Rivals in a lot of trouble.
go.
Glacial Prison is available. Does
Nice
dodge Seaman's
dodge.
ultimate, but does not dodge the one from Ubisoft. Is buying a lot of time. Does go down. Ubisoft has to flash defensively. Seaman gets the stun on the MLG, but it's not enough to warrant a dive.
Yeah, Yuumi arrives and Corporal saves the death from Sejuani, which would have been the world ender proc there for Rival. And unfortunately, Sejuani not dying means the Aatrox does and gets cleaned up off the back end. Ubisoft gets cancelled on his reset there, so we're able to find something. Gold lead still extending, and we have hit that 10k mark. Dire Cubs incredibly far ahead pre-20 minutes as well.
Get
No Baron spawn.
10k up in under 20 minutes is usually a crystal clear recipe for success. I can count like only on my hand the number of times comebacks has happened with this kind of deficit. That said, it has happened on the OCS this year. So
yeah, what game was that?
it was Mprox versus someone. I think it happened to Mprox, and it happened to, I believe, UQ Union as well.
Yeah.
So against
That
Gravitas,
hurts.
I think it was UQ versus Gravitas it happened.
You have a good memory. I'm impressed.
I guess. I also, if you don't know it, I could just be making this all
I
up.
mean, yeah, I'm just trusting you. You're correct.
Yeah.
Someone will fact check.
Yeah, someone will prove me wrong, and I'll be embarrassed and be sad. Kind of like Why Not might be sad if Draku commits, but Draku doesn't want to.
Didn't have too much deep vision, and there is lockdown potential here. The Lux, the Veigar, the Ashe can come out of nowhere, so not going to risk it all for a Raptor camp. That was a ghost popped there just from Podchelly to try and get his summoners off cooldown as...
Oh! That didn't do any damage to Andrew.
Yeah.
Healed it all right back up from Corporal.
Luckily, the Ashe nowadays, of course, is going for the Triforce secondaries, so the cooldown on that ulti is very swift. That was very brave from MLG. And whilst we have some time, I was walking across the bridge to work today, and I got a cheeky little DM from Chungy telling me that MLG's name is apparently Gleam backwards.
Uh-huh.
And I just don't accept it.
Neither.
I've been calling him MLG the entire split. I've been told by... Oh, hold that.
Andrew is actually going in very aggressive right now. Health bar super low. Retribution is already down. A great Lost Chapter is able to hold the silence in place, so Why Not is the next one to fall. Hot Chili, low, can't really defend. Going to try regardless as the wave crashes. Dire Cubs retreat.
Yeah, I was about to say, do they need Baron to break the base? But the answer is no, or the answer is yes, I guess, at the end of the day. They want to pick up the worm. Not going to continue that push. Not much of a wave left. And I'll finish my point, right? Because MLG, I've been told it's emailed. And I was like, that can't be it.
That's what I was told. Because I remember the first time I was here it was MLG, and then I got like messages on Discord. It's like, actually, it's emailed. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Makes no sense, but sure. And now I'm being told it's Gleam, but backwards. I feel as if every time this name changes, it's less fun, but it hasn't even changed. It's like not changing, but getting less fun.
It's just the story changes every week. And, I don't know who to trust.
I
haven't had a message from the man himself.
I bet you it is MLG. I think it is, and it's all of his friends.
It's just like the long con.
Yeah, it's the long con.
Yeah, that could be it. That actually would make a lot of sense because like he hasn't been the one to message me ever. It's like everybody else is just like maybe he's sitting there and he hates it, and everybody else is just stirring the pot. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe one day we'll find out.
But for today, he is MLG. Because MLG with that spelling, it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
That.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I didn't pick up on it the first time, and then I felt very stupid when I realized. But look, that's fine. Worse things have happened. Much like this game of League of Legends for Gravitas Academy. A little bit of a roughie right now. Damage threats not really coming online. You have to kind of look at this comp and be like, Veigar is the one that could hold fast, but it's going to be very difficult. It has to be a incredibly good cage to deny everything, I guess, from the Dire Cubs. All of their threats are ahead, dealing tons of damage, and Corporal's also gone for the Crucible build, so they have that extra get-out-of-jail-free card.
I feel as well with Dire Cubs, all they have to do is approach from multiple angles, and they should be fine. Luminous Binding doing no damage to Ubisoft. This is a tanky Sejuani with that Warmogs, with the Aegis. This is not a good time for Gravitas at all. But hey, if you're a fan of the Dire Cubs, this is what you want to see, especially with Mprox dropping a game earlier today. This will secure them in that second place spot for the time being. Yes, the match next week will still be important. Dire Cubs versus Mprox. But you'll be going into it feeling a lot more confident.
Because it's very unlikely they can catch Mammoth, right? Like, Mammoth already have the head-to-head, so they would need to win both their games, and Mammoth would need to lose. So they have that point lead. But certainly getting second place, given the playoff format, top two get a bye to the semi-finals, as you mentioned. So it's incredibly important there, and it is single elimination. So removing a single threat of you dropping out of the tournament can be super impactful. Of course, in this one, Baron buff still held by most of the members of the Dire Cubs right now. Mid-turret may just be conceded here by Gravitas.
Yeah, Gravitas definitely don't want to step into this one. Retribution still has the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. It could be used as a force of engage. Glacial Prison actually coming out of Why Not does connect onto Corporal, but Seomin is the one who is at half health at the moment. Doesn't matter, Inhibitor will go.
Yeah, and Draku wasn't even there, right? The threat of him walking over is enough for Gravitas to just back away. A couple of the buttons used there. Silas and Ashe and Lux all use access to their ultimates.
does not connect out of Draku, but that is okay. Dire Cubs are happy to take their second inhibitor. Does the siege continue, or will they look to back off? The answer is back off for now, and Melg not going to chase.
Yep, so double inhib, certainly a good situation so far. Gold lead monstrously. Is that 16,000?
It is.
That's 16,000. Yeah. That's gross. Can we hit 20? How long on the Baron timer? I'm not sure. I think it's in the next 2 minutes minimum.
I mean, they still have the Baron buff.
Oh,
on it, so
actually, no, you're very right.
yeah.
It's above 3.
It's above 3. I'm curious if, like, if Dire Cubs have to get to a 20k lead, I'd almost be a little bit surprised because I feel like they should be able to end the game now with 100%. What they have.
Like, they walk top, that's like a flash from Sejuani. Like, they almost have flash on all of their members in the next, like, 40 seconds. That's going to be it, right? Corporal can ride the back of whoever he wants, and they can just hard commit to a dive. Really, there's very little damage threat as a response here from Gravitas. It's just the Veigar, like a one-hit potential on a squishy, but I feel like a Veigar at this point is only one-hitting a Yuumi, and that's going to be hard to do, so...
And even then, I feel as if Dire Cubs are willing to take that if it means winning the fight and winning the game, which they probably would in that situation. Urgot Ultimate was taken by Why Not, so they have that extra execution, perhaps. Will it come into use? Gleam getting that deep ward in there, but not going to follow up this time. Luminous Minding cannot slow Ubisoft.
Oh, Yuumi actually does significant damage to Why Not. That feels mega bad. Ubisoft wants to take down the pink as Veigar's buying some time with the wave.
I mean, Ubisoft is so tanky, I almost feel as if they could just stand there and take it and maybe bait the fight off of Gravitas' own ward. As this is going on, though, waves are starting to crash. Super minions are in the base being escorted there by Draku as well. So it looks as if the Dire Cubs are going to rotate towards him. Super minions coming through. You can see, yeah, a lot of Gravitas' resources are actually being spent to clear this. Unfortunately for the Dire Cubs, no follow-up waves just yet, but this fight is coming very soon, I feel.
Yeah, Veigar very good at holding the waves and has done so for a couple of minutes now. Baron spawn under a minute.
Here we go. Glacial Prism is immediately cleansed, but it doesn't matter because Dire Cubs are running in super deep. A good size of actually avoids Siemens' ultimate, but Why Not is already down. A second kill down onto Rival, and all of a sudden it's a big ultimate, but the damage is not there. And with that, the Dire Cubs are looking to secure their second place. MLG will be run down. The Nexus towers will fall. The Nexus not long after. Dire Cubs with the win.
The classic Lux binding to give fans false hope. And then turns around and immediately flash forward. Dire Cubs
20k!
Close that one out. And yeah, they do. They finish the game with a 20,000.1 gold lead.
Imagine the damage if it wasn't a 20k gold lead.
Yeah, like that is a gold lead team fight. If you
Yes.
land a binding Lux ulti on 4 members, like at this point of the game, then like in an even game, yes, but also in an even game, you're not knocking on the door of the Nexus.
No.
But yeah, that went one-sided very quickly. Draku, I think a lot of success in the top lane. We haven't seen him for weeks, has been away for a very long time, but reintegrated very well. Got looking good.
Yeah, and with that, the Dire Cubs are looking very good as well. I mean, a win right there secures them in second place on the ladder for now. That could change next week. Like, they still could have it stolen from them. But if they play in this form, and Mprox is, you know, from what we saw today, Dire Cubs definitely are going to be going into that as a favorite.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, Mprox a point behind them, and also they play each other, as you're mentioning. So certainly fate in their own hands, but definitely able to pick up the victory here today. Huge win over the Gravitas Academy, but Dire Cubs locked that one down. We're halfway through the day, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for more League of Legends.